Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kino with STEMwithKino.com, and we're back with another video installment. Today we're going to discuss, or we're going to talk about power plant management systems. In previous videos, we talked about the reciprocating engine aircraft, talked a little bit about induction systems, which we're going to go into a little bit further down the road. Today we're going to talk about power plant management systems. Now, most training aircraft like this is the Cessna 152. They come with what we call a fixed pitch propeller, which means that this propeller is fixed. It doesn't change blade angles. Okay. You have a constant speed propeller, which is the second type that we're going to discuss. Right now we're talking about the fixed pitch. And the fixed pitch, basically, this just stays at one angle. All right, it doesn't move. The constant speed propellers, they actually have the ability to rotate a little bit. And I don't know if I'm going to find a video or something of that nature down the road, but in this particular situation, the Cessna 152, the propeller does not make adjustments. And you would make adjustments by way of the cockpit controls. Okay, so you will know that you are in a fixed pitch propeller aircraft by just simply looking down. And let me see if I can't get a better view. Yeah, engine controls. Yeah, okay. There we go. That's perfect. Okay. See if we can angle up a little bit. No, I don't think they're cooperating with us today. Hold on. No. Okay, so I'll just pull out. Let me just see if I can just angle this upward just a little bit. Okay. Because I really want to get centered on this. And okay, maybe that's why. All right, let's try now. Okay, still not cooperating. All right, no worries. I figured there was some way. Okay, so that's as good as it's going to get. So you know that you're in a fixed pitch propeller aircraft and that your propeller does not turn at all by looking at your power plant management system, which is you have your throttle and you have a mixture. Now, as I explained before, your throttle is actually like your gas pedal. So we push it in, we pull it out. This is pushing down on the gas. This is taking your foot off of the accelerator. So pushing all the way in is full power. In aircraft, we have the ability to do what we call leaning the mixture or cutting off the fuel-air mixture. Okay, so as we push it in, the mixture is what we call being rich, a very rich mixture. Typically, this is going to happen at sea level, where the air molecules are more tightly packed together and the air is more dense, where the atmospheric pressure is stronger or heavier, or however you want to depict it. When we get up to altitude, typically altitude's above 3,000 feet, we're going to slowly just pull back gently, just a little bit. You don't pull it out crazy because you don't want to cut the engine off in flight. And actually there is a rolling mechanism where you roll this and it slowly just kind of backs it out very slowly and very calculated in a calculated manner. Okay, so in the fixed pitch propeller system, this is all you're going to have. You're going to have your throttle and you're going to have your mixture control, and that's all you're going to see. Now, in our next aircraft, we are going to have a different propeller power plant management system. Let's see if we can't zoom in, and I don't know why you keep pausing on me, but it's okay. We're back. Okay, so this is the Cessna 172. The nickname is called the Cutlass. Now you can kind of see there's a difference in the propeller hub. You see this circular type of hole or opening, and this allows for the propeller to actually twist. And we can twist it to make the propeller more efficient in different types of flight conditions. All right, so the power plant management system is going to be slightly different. We still have our basic 6 instruments, basic 6 flight instruments, and basically as we zoom in, you're not going to see 2, but you're going to see 3 knobs or controls. You still have your throttle. You push in. This is like opening up or pressing down on the accelerator. And then pulling out would be synonymous with taking your foot off the gas. You still have your mixture control. So everything is labeled THROT, short for throttle, prop for propeller, and then mixture. And this is adding or introducing fuel or allowing fuel to be, flow. And then if we want to choke it out, like as if we were shutting down the engine, then we'll pull this all the way out. So you still have your mixture and you still have your throttle control. But we have a propeller control here, and this changes the blade angle. I don't know if, no, it's not actually going to show it, but and it wouldn't do it on the ground either. But I was just trying to see if things were a little bit different in the simulated world. Starting this up is just going to be pretty much the same way. You're going to go to your master switch. Let's see if we can move the, yes we can. All right. All right. So basically you still have your primer. And if you've seen one of my earlier videos, we had your primer where we introduce fuel into the system. And I'm not using the checklist, I'm just kind of okay. And extra rich, throttle about a 1/4 inch open. And let's see if we can't get this baby fired up. Now this is a much more efficient aircraft, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. Okay, we got her fired up. And we're going to idle at 1,000 RPMs. Now, the difference with this type of aircraft is we actually use the throttle. We use a manifold pressure gauge, which is right there. And then we have a propeller control, which when we operate that propeller control, we're going to set our adjustments when we use that middle control. So now, instead of using your tachometer, like we did with the fixed pitch, we're going to use manifold pressure, and then to set the propeller setting for whatever, like for instance, let's say we climb out at full power. Okay, so we climb out at full power, the mixture is going to be in, the propeller control is going to be in, and the throttle is going to be full power. Okay, then we're going to go to what we call a cruise configuration, where it might be, I don't know, 23, 23, which means 23 inches, 21, 22, 23 inches of manifold pressure, and then 2,300 RPM. So that's what I mean by 23, 23. Aircraft, different aircraft are different. It depends on, your type aircraft. So I am going to give us a little demonstration. All right, folks, so we're actually going to go to the actual POH in the Cessna 172RG. Might as well use a checklist, right, guys? Okay, so this is what I mean. What I meant by our normal climb out. Okay, so we want to be at 85 to 95 knots indicated. That's what KIAS means, knots indicated airspeed. We want our power setting to be 25. What pilots commonly refer to as 25. 25. 25 refers to your inches and manifold pressure, and then 25 means 2,500 RPMs in your on your propeller setting. So that's what I mean by climb out. So initially, when we initially climb out, we're going to be full power, and so the only thing that we're going to check are we're going to make sure that our cowl flaps are open as required. So let's go back into the simulation, and Alrighty. All right. So again, we're going to move the throttle until we're at 25 inches of manifold pressure for climb out, and we're going to be adjusting propeller control until we have 2,500. All right, so the takeoff is pretty much, well, almost the same. And we're in actually, this airport is Cairo West International in Egypt, in the continent of Africa. Thought I'd try using some different sceneries. Runway 16. So as you can see, mixture, props, and throttle. It's all the way in. Rotation. Now, this is a retractable landing gear aircraft, so as a result, what's going to happen is we have gear to raise. So you can see the gear going to the belly of the aircraft. So in this particular case, the landing gear are all gone, so we get more drag, we get less drag, sorry, and we get increased performance. Alright, so now back to our controls. Now again, so we're going to reduce the throttle until we get 25. Okay, so that is 25 inches of manifold pressure. And then we're going to reduce the propeller to 25. So we're actually changing the blade angle of the propeller to a more efficient angle. And sorry about that, guys. I'm pulling back very gently on the throttle until we're at 25. So we've actually changed the blade angle of the propeller. You can't do that in the fixed pitch propeller. And so we're going to get a much higher performance climb. We're going to pitch downward slightly because we want to be at 85 to 95 knots as per the manual that we just looked at. And I'm pitching slightly forward. You can see our airspeed building. Looking left for traffic, looking right for traffic. Right? Head's not in the aircraft 100% of the time, and we just come back and we check on our speed. And we trim nose downward. So you can see our vertical speed is like crazy. You know, you won't get this type of performance out of a lower performance training aircraft. So yeah, that's why you see all this desert area out here. Our simulation has placed us in Egypt. Cow flaps and mixture is good to go. And I think we have some pyramids over there. Might as well go on over there and take a look, see, right? And like say like your Cessna 152, you pretty much you're gonna have the throttle all the way in for full power, and when you level out, you're just going to adjust your throttle control. Okay, we are headed towards the pyramid, so we're going to take a look. So this is a much more efficient and stronger system, and you're probably not going to be flying this for a while, to be honest with you. You just don't, there's a lot more systems, there's a lot of things that you need to be cognizant of. So nobody, well, I won't say nobody, I'm sure people jump in and constant speed props, and that's what they train on, and that's kind of what they get used to. So as we level out, now we want to come out of a climb profile to what we call a cruise profile. All right, so let's see what the book says. All right, so for cruise, we can have our power set from 15 to 25 inches, and we could be anywhere from 21 to 2700 RPMs on the propeller control. So again, this is the manifold pressure with the throttle, and RPMs will be set with the propeller control. And so you can see it's a lot more to it than just like a Cessna 152. But hey, it's a building block process, and you got to crawl before you can walk. So our cruise setting is going to be 2021. That's what we'll say our cruise setting is, and that's within the parameters of the pilot's operating handbook. And again, that is just a guide, the pilot's operating handbook that I have. While it is very similar to the other ones, you should only be going by the pilot's operating handbook in your aircraft. And since this is a simulator, I can do that. Okay, so 20 and 21. All right, so we come back and we want to pull our power back till we're at 20. Roughly there, and we want our our RPM, so manifold 20 inches of mercury, and then we want to come down to 21. And I'll make it 22 because the green arc, that's pretty much the bottom of the green arc. So as we pull, I'm pulling the center, and it's moving very slow. We don't pull it very fast, but you can see the indication. So I'm going to set it at 2200 RPMs. And that is a very efficient blade angle. And we're moving much faster than we would be in a Cessna 152. Looking at probably 140 knots there. So we're moving at a pretty good clip here. The pyramids are 12 o'clock off the nose. And we trim and we lean as required. So this is a high performance, it's a higher performance aircraft because it has the constant speed propeller, the retractable gear. Alright, so let's get back in the cockpit. And there's our pyramid still. I'm going to turn a little bit to the right a little bit so we can look out of the left side of the cockpit at the pyramids. But that's pretty much all I wanted to discuss in power management systems. Again, I'm going to be doing more videos in different parts of the world, simulation speaking, and yeah, I definitely want to come on out to Egypt and take a look at the pyramids of Giza. And for all the folks who don't know, Egypt is a country in the continent of Africa. It's for the kiddies. Beautiful, beautiful day out. Okay, this little object here is the pitot tube. Ram air pressure goes in, and it helps our airspeed indicator tell us how fast we're moving through the air. These we could push in like that. When we open them up, they actually allow air from outside to flow in. Okay, so there's our pyramids of Giza. I wonder how tall they are. We'll explore that later. That's just the nerd in me. Oh, I wonder how tall that is. Alright guys, so see you guys next video. Let's see if we can one spot and oh wait. There we go. That was a beautiful view. Alright guys, see you guys later.